Beverly Hills, California, late at night, the 1960s. A man jolts awake in his bed, screaming, drenched in sweat. His hand instinctively reaches under the pillow, finds the cold metal of a loaded .45 pistol, grips it, eyes wild, scanning the room for enemies that aren't there. His wife Pamela has learned not to move too quickly. One wrong motion, and he might pull the trigger before he realizes where he is. She waits, breathes softly, lets him come back to reality. France, he whispers. I was back in France. Audie Murphy, Hollywood movie star, handsome face on billboards across America, the leading man in 44 films, Western hero, box office draw, success by every measure. But every single night, he fights the same war. By day, he's on movie sets, smiling for cameras, signing autographs, playing the cowboy, the soldier, the hero. By night, he's 19 years old again, standing on a burning tank destroyer, Germans everywhere, his friends dying around him, the screaming, the blood, the faces of the men he killed. 26 years after the war ended, he still can't escape it. The pills help. Placidil, a prescription sleeping medication. He's been taking them for years, needs them to quiet the nightmares, to shut out the memories. But he knows what's happening. He's addicted. 1969, Audie realizes he's at a crossroads. The pills or his life. He can't have both. So he checks into a hotel room, locks the door, disconnects the phone, and goes cold turkey. 1 week. 7 days of shaking, sweating, hallucinating. The nightmares worse than ever because now there's nothing to dull them. But he survives it. Beats the addiction through pure willpower. The same willpower that made him a hero in 1945. Except, it wasn't supposed to be like this. War heroes in the movies don't have nightmares. They don't sleep with guns. They don't get addicted to pills. They ride off into the sunset, whole and unbroken. But Audie Murphy knows the truth. Has lived it every day since 1945. In an interview near the end of his life, a reporter asks him what he's most proud of. His medals? His Hollywood career? The fame? Audie looks tired, older than his 45 years. He thinks for a moment, then says, "The only thing I've ever found I was any good at was war, which is a terrible thing." Pause. The reporter doesn't know what to say. Audie continues, "People think war is glorious. They think it makes you a man. But it just breaks you. Takes the boy you were and turns him into something else. Something that can kill. And you never get that boy back." So how did this happen? How did a dirt-poor farm kid from Texas become America's most decorated soldier? Why did Hollywood make him a star? And why couldn't he escape the war, even 26 years later? The answer starts in a place even more brutal than the battlefield. It starts in poverty so extreme, it's hard to imagine. June 20th, 1925. Kingston, Texas. Audie Leon Murphy is born to Emmett and Josie Murphy, sharecroppers, the 7th of 12 children. They don't own land. They don't own much of anything. They work someone else's fields for a share of the crops. And after the landowner takes his cut, there's barely enough to survive. The family lives in a shack smaller than a modern living room. No electricity, no plumbing, dirt floor. In the summer, it's 100 degrees inside. In the winter, the wind cuts through the gaps in the walls. Audie learns to pick cotton as soon as his hands are big enough. Dawn to dusk. Every child works. Because if they don't, the family doesn't eat. School is a luxury they can't afford. Audie makes it to 5th grade. Then he's needed in the fields full time. At age 5, his father gives him a rifle. Not for fun, for survival. "You need to hunt for the family," Emmett tells him. "Rabbits, squirrels, possums, anything with meat." If Audie doesn't bring home game, his siblings go hungry. So he learns to shoot, has to, becomes an expert marksman by necessity. Can hit a rabbit at 50 yards, a squirrel at 30. Rarely misses, because wasting ammunition means someone doesn't eat. This skill, shooting a rifle to feed his family, will save his life 10 years later. 1935. Audie is 10 years old. His father walks out. Just leaves. Doesn't say goodbye. Doesn't explain. The Great Depression is crushing everyone, and Emmett Murphy decides he's done trying. Josie is left alone with 9 children still at home. Audie becomes the man of the house at age 10, hunts every day, works odd jobs, picks cotton until his fingers bleed. Anything to keep the family together. 1941. Audie is 16. His mother dies. Worn out by poverty, by childbirth, by life. Audie breaks down completely. He tried to hold the family together. He failed. The younger siblings are split up, sent to relatives, some to orphanages. The Murphy family fractures, disappears into the poverty of rural Texas. Audie is left with nothing. No family, no education, no future. Just guilt. The guilt that he couldn't save them. December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor. The radio crackles with news of the attack. Audie sees a way out. A way to matter. A way to be somebody. June 1942. He tries to enlist in the Marines. They reject him. Too small. He tries the Navy. Rejected. Too small. He tries the paratroopers. Rejected. Too small. The problem is obvious. Audie Murphy is 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighs 110 pounds, baby-faced, soft-spoken, looks about 15 years old. He's actually 17, but he lied about his age because even that wasn't enough. Recruiters laugh him out of their offices. Come back when you've grown up, kid. But Audie is persistent. September 1942. The Army is desperate for bodies. They'll take anyone. They take Audie. Basic training at Camp Walters, Texas. The instructors doubt he'll survive combat. The other recruits mock him, call him baby and shorty. But Audie can outshoot every single one of them. Years of hunting rabbits to feed his family have made him the best marksman in his company. His instructors stop laughing. February 1943. Audie ships out to North Africa. Assigned to Company B, 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. He's 17 years old, weighs 110 pounds with full gear, about to become the most lethal soldier in American history. But first, he has to learn how to kill. North Africa, summer 1943. Audie sees death for the first time. A German sniper kills one of his friends. Clean shot. 1 second the man is talking. The next, he's gone. Audie stares at the body, can't process it. That night he vomits, cries. This isn't what he thought war would be, but something changes in him. The guilt over his mother, over his siblings. It transforms into rage. Rage at the Germans, rage at the world, rage at everything that's taken from him. Sicily, July 1943. Audie shoots 2 Italian officers trying to escape. His first kills. He expects to feel something. Guilt. Horror. Anything. He feels nothing. The shy farm boy is gone. Something else has taken his place. Italy, 1943 and 1944. Anzio, Salerno, Monte Cassino. Audie discovers he's exceptionally good at killing. Methodical. Calm. Precise. While others panic under fire, he aims and shoots. He never misses. The kills accumulate. 20, 50, 100. He stops counting. It doesn't matter anymore. He's a weapon, not a person. A weapon. Promotions come fast. Corporal. Sergeant. By age 18, he's leading men twice his age. They follow him because he keeps them alive. And because something in his eyes tells them he's already dead inside. August 1944. Operation Dragoon. The invasion of southern France. Audie's best friend, Laddie Tipton, steps on a German mine. The explosion tears him apart. Audie's response is cold fury. He attacks a German machine gun nest single-handedly, kills the entire crew, earns the Distinguished Service Cross. But something else dies with Laddie. Whatever humanity Audie had left, it's gone now. Autumn 1944. The advance through France into Germany. Constant combat. Audie's kill count is over 200 now, maybe more. He's lost track. His men whisper that he's cursed, that death follows him but never takes him. January 1945. The Colmar Pocket, France. One of the coldest winters on record. Audie's company is down to 40 men, should be 200. Everyone is exhausted, frostbitten, sick of war. January 26th, near the village of Holzver, the day that changes everything. The temperature is below freezing. Snow covers the ground. Company B is dug in along a forest edge. Intelligence reports that the Germans are preparing a counterattack. At least 250 infantry, 6 panzer tanks. Audie is at the command post with a field phone connected to artillery. 2 M10 tank destroyers are providing fire support. It's not enough. Everyone knows it. But they have to hold the line. 2 in the afternoon, the Germans attack. 6 tanks emerge from the woods across the field. 250 infantry behind them. A methodical advance. Professional. Deadly. The Americans open fire. The Germans keep coming. 1 M10 takes a direct hit. Explodes. Crew killed instantly. The second M10 is hit. Begins burning. The crew bails out and runs for the rear. Audie's company is now 40 men against 250 Germans and 6 tanks. No anti-tank weapons left. The situation is hopeless. His men start falling back, not retreating, just trying to survive. Audie looks at the burning M10 tank destroyer, 50 yards away, flames pouring from the engine compartment, ammunition inside starting to cook off, little explosions, pop, pop, pop. The whole thing could go up any second. But the 50 caliber machine gun on top is still intact, still loaded. Perfect field of fire across the open ground. Audie grabs the field phone for artillery, runs across the open field. Bullets kicking up snow around him. Germans 50 yards away and closing. He climbs onto the burning tank destroyer. The heat is insane. Smoke choking. Ammunition exploding inside the vehicle beneath him. Any second the fuel tanks could blow and he'll be vaporized. He grabs the 50 caliber machine gun, swings it toward the advancing Germans, opens fire. 500 rounds per minute. Tracer rounds every 5th bullet. Red streaks cutting through the snow. Germans go down. Others dive for cover. The advance falters. Audie holds the field phone in one hand, controls the machine gun with the other. Calls artillery strikes on his own position. "Fire on my coordinates," he says. "Danger close." "How close?" the artillery officer asks. 50 yards. "You'll be killed." "Then you better aim well." The artillery shells start landing. Massive explosions 50 yards in front of the burning tank destroyer. Germans caught in the open are torn apart. Those who survive try to flank. Audie swings the machine gun. Cuts them down. For 1 hour this continues. 1 full hour. Audie Murphy, alone on a burning vehicle. Ammunition exploding beneath him. Calling artillery strikes while machine gunning Germans who get too close. The Germans try everything. Rifle fire, machine gun fire, tank rounds, nothing stops him. At one point, German infantry gets within 10 yards. Audie can see their faces. Young men, terrified. Just like him. He shoots them anyway. A bullet hits his right leg, punches through the muscle, blood soaks his pants. He doesn't stop firing, doesn't even acknowledge the wound. The Germans have lost 50 men. The rest are pinned down. Their advance is shattered. The tanks, without infantry support, begin to withdraw. After 60 minutes, the ammunition belt runs dry. Audie tries to stand. His wounded leg gives out. He falls off the tank destroyer into the snow. American medics drag him back to the lines. He's been hit once, burned in multiple places, covered in soot and blood, shaking from adrenaline and shock. But the line held. His 40 men are still alive. The Germans retreated. That night, Audie doesn't sleep, sees the faces of the Germans he killed. Young men, boys really, just like him, following orders. dying in a frozen field in France. The nightmares start that night. They will never stop. February 1945. Audie is recommended for the Medal of Honor, the highest military decoration. The citation describes what he did, but it can't describe what it cost him. June 2nd, 1945. General Jacob Devers presents the medal. Audie Murphy, age 19, is now the most decorated American combat soldier of World War II. The final count: Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, Legion of Merit, 2 Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts, 9 campaign medals, 5 decorations from France and Belgium, 33 awards total. Estimated enemy killed, 240. Maybe more. But Audie doesn't feel like a hero. He feels like a killer, which is what he became, what the war made him. And now he has to figure out how to live with that. July 1945. Life magazine publishes a cover story. Most Decorated Soldier. Audie Murphy's baby face stares out from newsstands across America, his chest covered in medals. A slight, shy smile. America's new hero. James Cagney, the Hollywood legend, sees the magazine, picks up the phone, calls Audie personally. "Come to Hollywood, kid. I'll help you get started in pictures." Audie is confused. "I can't act, Mr. Cagney." "You don't have to act. Just be yourself." September 1945. Audie arrives in Los Angeles, shell-shocked, literally. What they don't call PTSD yet. The nightmares are getting worse. He wakes up every night thinking he's back in combat, reaches for weapons that aren't there. Hollywood feels like another planet. Bright lights, beautiful people. Everyone's smiling, pretending, acting. Audie doesn't know how to pretend anymore. Cagney gets him acting lessons. They're a disaster. Audie can't remember lines, freezes in front of cameras, has no stage presence. The instructors are gentle but honest. He's not an actor. But Cagney persists, gets him small parts, bit roles. Audie is terrible, but he's trying. 1948, Beyond Glory. Audie's first real role. A small part in a World War II film. He's competent, not impressive. Critics don't mention him. But Universal Studios sees something. Not talent. Authenticity. He's a real war hero. That means something to audiences. They sign him to a contract. The nightmares continue. Every single night. France. The burning tank. The Germans' faces. Laddie's death. He starts sleeping with a loaded .45 pistol under his pillow, just to feel safe. 1949. He marries Wanda Hendricks, an actress. Beautiful. Young. She doesn't understand the nightmares, the mood swings, the gun under the pillow. The marriage lasts 2 years. Also in 1949, Audie writes his autobiography, To Hell and Back. A ghostwriter helps, but the stories are Audie's. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. The fear, the killing, the guilt. The book becomes a bestseller. America wants to know their hero's story. Hollywood wants to film it. 1950 to 1955. Universal puts Audie in B-westerns. 20-plus films in 5 years. Low budget, formulaic, forgettable. But Audie learns on the job, gets better slowly. Audiences like him. Not because he's a great actor, because he's real. 1955, Universal greenlights To Hell and Back, their biggest budget film to date. And Audie will play himself. Think about that. Playing yourself. Recreating the worst moments of your life. For cameras, for audiences who'll eat popcorn while watching you relive trauma. Filming the January 26th scene, the burning tank destroyer. Audie has to stand on a prop tank, fake flames, controlled explosions, blanks instead of bullets. But his mind doesn't know the difference. He has a panic attack on set, walks off, shaking, hyperventilating. The director finds him an hour later, sitting alone. "You okay, Audie? Let's finish this." Every explosion triggers a memory. Every gunshot. Every scream from an extra playing a dying German. It's all real to him. He's back there, fighting, killing, watching friends die. But he finishes the film. November 1955. To Hell and Back opens. It's a massive hit. Universal's biggest box office success for 20 years. Won't be topped until Jaws in 1975. Audie Murphy is now a major Hollywood star. But at what cost? The nightmares are worse than ever. Playing himself, reliving the war on film. Some nights he can't tell the difference between the movie and the memories. He's remarried now. Pamela Archer, an actress. She's patient, understanding. But even she's terrified when he wakes up screaming, grabbing the gun. 1956 to 1969. Audie makes 24 more films, mostly westerns, some more war movies. The quality varies. Box office is decent, but not spectacular. He knows he's not a great actor. Admits it in interviews. "I got lucky because I lived the story," he says. Any real actor could do better. By the 1960s, he's addicted to sleeping pills, Placidil, needs them to shut out the nightmares. The prescription dosage isn't enough anymore. He's taking more and more. 1969. He looks in the mirror and sees what's happening. The pills are killing him slowly. He checks into a hotel room, locks the door, disconnects the phone, goes cold turkey. 1 week of hell. But he beats it. The addiction. Not the nightmares. Those never go away. After breaking the addiction, Audie becomes an advocate, starts speaking publicly about what he calls battle fatigue, what we now call PTSD. He's one of the first major celebrities to discuss veteran mental health openly. 1970. He testifies before Congress, talks about the nightmares, the pills, the gun under the pillow, begs them to help returning veterans. "We send these boys to war," he says. "Then we abandon them when they come home broken. We give them medals and parades. But what they need is help. Real help. Medical help. Mental health care." He's 50 years ahead of his time. But even as he's advocating for others, his own problems compound. Bad investments, gambling losses. He helps too many people financially. Can't say no to anyone asking for money. 1968. Audie files for bankruptcy. $3 million in debt. The Hollywood star who survived 240 combat engagements can't manage money. The bankruptcy is humiliating. The press covers it. America's hero is broke. In a 1970 interview, Audie is brutally honest. "I've been acting most of my life," he says, "not just in movies. I act like the war didn't change me. I act like I sleep at night. I act like I don't see their faces. But I'm always acting. The real me died in France in 1945. What you see now is just aftermath." May 28, 1971. Audie is flying from Atlanta to Martinsville, Virginia. Business meeting for a new venture. He's 45 years old, still trying to rebuild financially. Still fighting the nightmares. It's a private plane, small aircraft, 5 passengers plus the pilot. The weather forecast is bad, severe thunderstorms. The pilot decides to fly anyway. 3 in the afternoon. They're approaching Roanoke, Virginia, mountains below, heavy rain, low visibility. The pilot radios air traffic control, reports entering bad weather. Air traffic control advises diversion. The pilot continues. The radio goes silent. Somewhere near Brushy Mountain, Roanoke County, the plane hits the trees. High speed, total loss of control. The impact is catastrophic. Everyone is killed instantly. It takes 2 days to find the crash site. The wreckage is scattered across a remote mountainside, dense forest, difficult terrain. When rescue crews finally reach it, there's nothing recognizable. Audie Murphy is identified by dental records. The irony is crushing. He survived 240 combat engagements, 3 Purple Hearts, wounded 3 times, stood on a burning tank destroyer for an hour, fought through France, Italy, Germany, made it through 26 years of nightmares, and a thunderstorm kills him at 45. The news hits America hard. Flags drop to half-staff. President Nixon issues a statement. Audie Murphy was an American hero in the truest sense. June 7, 1971. Arlington National Cemetery. Full military honors. The honor guard is from the 3rd Infantry Division, his old unit. 6 white horses pull the caisson. A riderless horse follows, boots reversed in the stirrups. The symbol of a fallen soldier. 21 gun salute. Taps played across the hills of Arlington. Thousands attend. Veterans, Hollywood stars, ordinary Americans who just wanted to pay respects. The headstone is simple, standard military issue. Audie L. Murphy, Texas, Major, Infantry, World War II, Korea, Medal of Honor, June 20th, 1925, May 28th, 1971. Section 46, Lot 366-11. Within months, it becomes the 2nd most visited grave at Arlington National Cemetery. Only President John F. Kennedy's eternal flame gets more visitors. Over 50 years later, it still is. Millions have visited, left coins, medals, flowers, notes. Thank you for your service. You saved my father at Colmar. Rest in peace, soldier. The headstone is polished smooth by the touch of countless hands. To Hell and Back is still in print, one of the best-selling military memoirs of all time. Required reading at military academies. Translated into 20 languages. The 1955 film is still watched. Streaming services rediscover it every generation. New audiences learn his story. But the real legacy isn't in books or films. It's in what Audie Murphy revealed about the cost of war. Before Audie, war heroes were supposed to be invincible, strong, unaffected. They fought. They won. They came home whole. That was the myth. Audie destroyed that myth. He admitted the nightmares, the pills, the gun under the pillow, the addiction, the struggle. He showed America that heroes hurt too. His 1970 congressional testimony helped spark changes in veteran mental health care. The VA began expanding psychiatric services for Vietnam veterans. Audie's openness helped remove the stigma, made it okay for warriors to admit they were broken. Today, 22 veterans commit suicide every day in America. 22. Every single day. Audie Murphy would understand why. He almost became that statistic himself. Only his iron willpower saved him. And even that couldn't save him forever. The Audie Murphy VA Hospital in San Antonio, Texas, is named in his honor. It treats thousands of veterans annually, specializes in PTSD treatment. It's a fitting tribute, saving others from what tortured him. The Audie Murphy Award is given to the top trainee in Army basic training, the highest honor in ROTC, named for the small Texas farm boy who became the greatest soldier. Thousands have received it since 1971. But here's the question we need to ask. Did we fail Audie Murphy? We gave him medals, but not mental health care. We made him a celebrity, but not whole. We honored his killing, but not his healing. He died at 45. PTSD contributed to poor decisions, risk-taking, the recklessness that led him onto that plane in bad weather. Could he have lived longer with proper treatment? We'll never know. His wife Pamela never remarried. When she died in 2010 at age 90, she was buried next to him at Arlington. They're together now, finally at peace. His sons, Terry and James, carried his legacy. Both struggled with their father's fame, the burden of being Audie Murphy's son. But both were proud, and both understood the cost their father paid. In that final interview in 1970, Audie said something that haunts everyone who hears it. "I'm glad I was able to serve my country, but combat is not glorious. It's hell, and it never leaves you. Even 25 years later, I wake up and I'm back there. I wish I could tell young men what it's really like. Maybe they'd think twice before rushing to war." Every Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and June 20th, his birthday, Arlington is packed with visitors at Section 46, lot 366-11. Coins stacked on the headstone, American flags, flowers, letters from strangers. Thank you. We remember. Your sacrifice mattered. But did we learn the lesson? Are we taking care of our veterans now? 22 suicides per day suggest we're still failing. Audie Murphy gave everything. His childhood to poverty, his innocence to war, his peace of mind to the nightmares, his prime years to Hollywood while broken inside, his advocacy to help others, and finally, his life at 45. The medals are impressive. 33 awards, most decorated soldier. That's the story we tell. But here's the story we should tell. Audie Murphy showed us that war breaks everyone. Even the strongest, even the bravest, even the most decorated. He survived 240 combat missions, but he didn't survive the peace. That's not a failure of Audie Murphy. That's a failure of all of us. June 20th, 1925. Born into poverty that shaped him. January 26th, 1945. Became a legend at 19. November 1955. Played himself in his own nightmare. May 28th, 1971. Died at 45, still fighting the war. Forever remembered. Second most visited grave at Arlington. The lesson. Heroes are human. War breaks them like everyone else, and we owe them more than medals and graves. We owe them healing. We owe them peace. We owe them the care that Audie Murphy fought for, but never fully received himself. Audie Murphy, 1925 to 1971. Most decorated soldier, Hollywood star, PTSD survivor, veteran advocate, American hero, and a human being who hurt every single day for 26 years. That's the price of heroism. That's the cost of war. That's the truth we need to remember. Not just the glory, but the pain. Not just the medals, but the nightmares. Not just the heroism, but the humanity. Audie Murphy taught us that. With his medals and his movies, with his advocacy and his honesty, and with his life that ended far too soon. We should honor that truth, and finally, learn from it.